How's it going, guys? It is Rob, and I'm back with a brand new movie review. I want to talk about this one for a while, and I've recommended it to a lot of my friends, and a couple of them have watched it and said they really, really liked it. One of them being Julie over there at Let's Talk Movies. Um, it's a low budget 2019 American science fiction horror film that kind of reminds me of Body Snatchers mixed with The Faculty. Um, and it is called Assimilate. Now, this has Andy Matichak from Halloween 2018. She played, Laurie Strode's granddaughter. And she does a great job in this movie. I didn't even know she was in this film. But it's got Joel Courtney in here. Basically about, you have two kids who discover that people are being killed and they're being replaced by duplicates. It's like a new form of cloning, or like doppelgangers in a way. But it's just very, very interesting how they do this. Now, I'm not going to spoil like what happens at the end, and I'm not going to spoil like who dies and stuff like that. But I am going to talk about kind of like the plot synopsis on how um, there are duplicates. It's very fascinating to me, and I definitely want to talk about it a little bit. So it's like in a small town. These two kids they're basically doing stuff for their YouTube channel, and there's nothing interesting that ever happens in their town until they come across this lady who's been bitten. And at first we don't really know too much about like what it is. Like, did she get bitten by what, like a dog, or we don't really know what it is. And um come to find out, there's these little creatures that are all of a sudden in this town. And it's funny because they come in like little spores that are in the air, and they're like flying towards the town. And then they like get bigger, and they're going around the town filming, and they notice that people are acting strange. Like, they're not acting the way they should be, or that they normally do every day. So these little creatures, what they do is they bite you. They almost look like a smaller version of critters, but they bite you and then they go away. And the purpose of them going away is to form a cocoon. And inside that cocoon is the DNA of your blood. So if that creature bites me, it has my blood, it has my DNA. It's going to go off, form a cocoon, and inside that cocoon will be another version of me. The only problem is that version of me is an empty shell. So I guess you could compare it to a zombie in a way. It's pretty much lifeless. What that duplicate has to do is find the original host. So, for instance, that duplicate of me has to find me. Once he finds me, he basically steals my memories, my thoughts, and emotions by like basically sucking the life out of me and killing me. What they're doing is they're replacing the original person. The only thing is that they could tell this in Body Snatchers, where if a person is a duplicate, you can tell they're a duplicate simply by their emotions. They don't talk as much as they used to. They're kind of stiff like this, and they look around and they're just like, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" Oh, they're kind of just emotionless. Like, it doesn't seem like they smile. They don't cry. They're basically like this. They're just walking like this. And it reminds me of the faculty, because the faculty, they did the same thing. When the teachers were all, you know, under that kind of spell, or they weren't really under a spell, but they were, taken over by the little alien things that got inside of them. They were kind of emotionless in a way. They would always just stand there with these looks on their face, like these serious looks, and they weren't acting like they weren't acting like teachers. They weren't acting like they used to. If you were a teacher before and you had glasses, when that alien thing gets in you, you don't wear glasses anymore. It's just weird. It's like everything's perfect, everything's better. So it's like here, it's like the duplicate, in my opinion, it's like the duplicate is the worst version of you, because it's not, even if it gets your memories and thoughts, it's still kind of like emotionless. So it's like it doesn't, um, it doesn't like cry or laugh or anything like that. It's just plain to me. But that's what's so cool about it. And you know, they when they come out of the cocoon, they're naked, and they come to find you and like basically steal everything. It's like they're like Terminator. It's like, give me your clothes, boots, and motorcycle. Hell with that. I'm not going to ask. They just take it. They're going to take your memories, your and your clothes. But it's such a cool idea, because pretty much everyone in this film plays two people. They play the duplicate, and then they play the originals. So, but Annie Manichak was so good in this movie. Um, Everyone did a good job. It's just one of those films where you want to see someone die, and then it doesn't end up happening the way you'd want to. And there's some tense moments too, like when they're walking. Annie Madchak and the main kid are walking through the town, and a lot of people are duplicates already, and they're noticing these two walking. I mean, they're originals, but what they end up doing, this is exactly what I would do. You're walking in a bunch of group of duplicates, and you're trying to act like them. You're trying not to give yourself away, so you're sitting there like this, and you're just walking all straight and stiff. It's so funny they do that in this movie, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that's exactly what I would do. That is exactly what I do, to go in there in stealth mode and just try to act like them. And would they notice? I mean, it seems like they wouldn't, as long as you don't give yourself away. I mean, it's not like they can smell you and just be like, "Oh, you're an original. You're not a duplicate." Um, I just thought that was really, really cool, and it's very intense in a lot of those scenes. But it turns out to be a bigger movie than you actually think it is, because it takes place in a small town, but there are bigger things happening. So this one, for me, is an excellent pick. This is a recommendation from me. You guys need to check this out. I believe it is still on Netflix. If it is not on Netflix, you might want to check Tubi. It might be on there. But yeah, 2019. Um, Not that old of a film. Very well directed. Cinematography's great. Acting's great. The effects are great. The story is great. Like I said, it's got a touch of the Body Snatchers. It's got a touch of the Faculty. It's got all that. It's very, very good. And no one even talks about this film. It's a shame. I actually went to Family Video. They had one copy on the shelf. And I asked the clerk up there if she could sell it to me. And she did. Because these films don't last long, because they're low budget. No one really wants them. They put like $1 sticker on them, and then they're gone. So that's exactly what was going to happen here, but I snatched it up. So definitely check this movie out, guys. I think you would definitely like it. But yeah, so that's my quick review of Assimilate. Definitely one of my favorite films of 2019 for sure. So stay tuned for more videos and reviews. I've decided to not put that much work into my stuff anymore, because it's just not worth it, because then you have idiots come to my channel and starting trouble or doing stuff. So it's really not worth it, and I don't care. I'm just gonna whatever. I'm gonna milk it the best way I can. I don't bother me any. So I'm still gonna be making videos though. So don't think that I'm not. The control, the trolls can still lick my nuts like they're doing right now. Anyway, I'll be back with more videos, more reviews, so stay tuned. See you in the next one.